Okay. I'm not going to keep you guys long here tonight, but I do want to just show you something and discuss something. Hope everyone's night is great. Not sure where the sound is coming from. I'm hoping it's coming from my AirPods, but you really never know these days. There's so much going on at one time. Okay, let's turn this around possibly here. How's everyone doing tonight? I'll take a second for everyone to get in here. All right, we'll just do this. We're just gonna do this. We'll make it bright. Oh, okay. Hey now. Anybody in here? We got one person in here. Hello, one person. All right, I'm going to get to some content here very shortly. Okay, the setup's complete, I believe. Now, that one person, can you comment on this? Can you comment? I'm going YouTube live right from YouTube. And I normally go through StreamYard. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about today is the the IsoRack. This was my first true love when it come to isometrics. I had a Rogue rack that I use with athletes to do squats and other items, understand? And when I started doing overcoming isometrics, I got the idea to just create a isometric rack out of the Rogue power rack that I have. And uh that's as simple as it is. This is a ground rod here, a ground rod, and this is a monster light, a Rogue monster light rack. Cut the ground rod to piece. Of course, you have to make sure the rod is of size. And then from here, I'll just show a couple different examples of exercises. I got my jeans on because, hello, Eric. What's up? All right. So, the basics here: Zercher squat, Zercher split squat. This bar here, this ground rod here that you see, this thing has made me a lot of money. This thing has made me a lot of money out of nowhere, unexpectedly. The deadlift. Then, of course, the around the world ISOs that I do: hip flexion, abduction, extension, hamstring curl, reverse squat. Okay. And then it gets even deeper, right? Of course, one of the hardest overcoming isometrics you can possibly do is a back-loaded overcoming isometric. So there's a couple things in play here. The bars doesn't have any leverage to bend and break. And the bar just has never bent. Okay. And the Rogue Rack is heavy enough. However, when I'm with clients that are, let me make sure that you can even hear me. Can you even hear me? How much can you squat? How much can I squat? Not a lot. It's not about how much you can squat, it's how much practical strength you can have. And that's kind of what I represent. Okay, where was I going? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can you let me know if you hear me from my ear pod or if you hear me from speaking? Can you hear me from my ear pod or can you hear me? I never mind. Hang on. Let's just continue on here. Okay, so it's heavy enough. Understand? It's heavy enough. And also, luckily, my garage. is low enough that if I were to lift it up, it's just gonna butt up against my ceiling. So I have a fixed ceiling. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say there. Okay, so also, I don't know if I want to get on the ground for you guys. Maybe I will, but like the best core you can do, the best core exercises you can do are laying on the ground. I'm getting on the ground. Can you guys see me? I'm getting on the ground here. This is unbelievable. Stuff like this, overcoming isometric stuff like this. Okay, it's the Pike series. So if you have a rack, I have to set you on a mission here to get a ground rod and make sure it's of size, loud and clear everywhere. Thank you. We hear you. Okay, great. Anywho, ground rod. I don't know what. Let's get the tape measure out right here. Might as well do this live. These are these are 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. Okay, but understand that the ground rod, or no, 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. That's what I'm trying to say. The ground rod can't exactly be 3/4 of an inch because it won't slide through. So I think this is an 1/8 inch. Hang on, let me check this. See if I can do this on here. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch ground rod. 1/2 inch. That's a 1/2 inch ground rod. So 1/2 inch ground rod, man, that's more like 5/8. That's more like 5/8. Yeah, that's more like 5/8. So does that make sense? 5/8 here, 1/2 inch there. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure. But anyway, but it fits. Okay. That's just what I'm trying to say here. So what you can do, how you can work this in is you can work in 10 upper body exercises, 10 core exercises, 10 low body exercises. When I say exercises, I mean isometrics. And that's going to give you 30 isometric exercises. You do 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. And that gives you a 30-minute workout. Now, that's very intense. And if you don't have 30 different positions in mind, just split it up to like six to 10 positions. So you can do compound, meaning get a lot of bend in the knees and the ankles, like right here, for example, your Zercher squat. So you can do this, 5 sets of this, and that can be a complete workout. Okay. Uh, or you could do shoulder press. Okay. So still a taxing movement. Really, you should be at 90 degrees. Let me do this right. If I'm gonna show this to you guys, I might as well do this right. Okay, 90 degrees. I like it. Let's send it. So I'm pressing my feet into the ground. I'm getting my toes pointing straight ahead. There's so much to teach you guys. There's so much to teach you guys. Okay, so if my toes are angled out here, not good, right? We'll just think this is a shoulder press and we'll forget about our low body. The toes need to be straight ahead. The knees need to be straight ahead. You need to lock in your quads. You need to feel your feet into the ground. You need to feel your toes in the ground. Okay, you need to push your hips through. It all starts from the ground, force through the ground and working your way up, right? So if we're just lackadaisical here and we're just pressing upwards, not the same exercise as if we're toes pointed straight ahead, good posture, feeling the activation through the legs, driving up. Now I feel like I'm exerting way more force. While I have you guys here, give me one moment. I'll be right back. I'll continue to talk. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Can you still hear me? I may have brought my book bag upstairs though. That might be bad news for you guys. Hang on one second. All right. So what I was going to show you, I was going to show you overcoming, I was going to show you measured isometrics using this. Wait, 1 minute. Okay, so if anybody has watched my content before, if anybody has watched my content before, you know that I do measured isometrics with the Isomax and the Tindeck dynamometer. Okay, so follow me here. My Tindeck is upstairs and I'm not going to go get it, but okay. The hook goes in, right? The carabiner goes in. The Tindeck is attached to the carabiner. Now this is where I'll start to get my measured isometrics in, and external rotation here. You start to go overhead, sit through here. You start to go overhead doing a pull down tricep extension, and really all you have to do is move this. All you have to do is move this piece around. Okay, so you get your bar IsoRack overcoming isometrics. Then you get your measured isometrics with this and the Tindeck. So there's even holes down here. So what I'll do with clients is hook up the Tindeck and have them do a measured deadlift right here. All right, and then I'll strap the Tindeck to their ankle, and I'll have them do my around the world isometrics where they're doing hip flexion, hip abduction, hip extension, hamstring curl, reverse squat. So you just really have the clients in one station here, understand? And then the next step to bring it even further, what I do at the gym is I'll have a stretch table. I'll have a stretch table here. Okay. So my older clients, I don't really love getting them on the ground. They're fine getting on the ground. I'm not fine getting them on the ground and up off the ground. So I put the stretch table here. They lay on the stretch table, and you can do all of your overcoming isometrics on the stretch table as you would on the ground. So are you following me so far? Hope I didn't lose you. Loud and clear. Yes, yes, can still hear. Sound is great. These AirPods, by the way, oh, how excellent are they? Does anybody have any questions specific to the ISO rack? Um, I told my mom, she's like, "What do I get? What do I get for AirPods?" And I said, "Mom, Apple AirPods, AIRPODS." And she's like, "Minga, they're $200." I said, "Mom, AirPods, AIRPODS, Apple, the only ones you can get." She goes and gets them. She brings them to my house. What does she get? She gets Amazon AirPods. I opened it up. I said, "Ma, these are not Apple. What would you get? How much you pay for these?" She paid $20 for them. Anyway, I'm glad that you guys. I don't know. I don't know. Just glad that you are trying to do with your body what you can while you have it on this time on Earth. And that's all I have for today. I just want to introduce you. I'm going to be elaborating more and doing more videos on the ISO rack. But this is really all it takes. I'm not even in the shot. Let me get in the shot here. I'll sit down. This is really all it takes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour a day, something like that is going to be the very best type of exercise you can do, in my opinion, without even having to move. I didn't even talk about the stool. So, once again, working with older clients, you sit them in the stool and you just move their arms around. You have them do whatever the body is designed to do, and you just restrain them, right? You just restrain. This is all a restraint process. I can't even think of a better word than restraint. Restraint's not a great word, but basically what we're doing is we're we're the only word I can think of is restraining the subject's limbs for time. And that's all overcoming isometrics is. And that's talking about the frog. Did you ever hear about the frog experiment they did? Somebody did, maybe it was the army, the military. The military was having too many injuries, and they were trying to find a way to recover quickly from the injuries so that the guerrilla warfare soldiers can be more productive and effective. So they tested, what are they called? When you break your leg, not a cast, but a dang, what's it called? Oh man, but yeah, like a cast. So they put a frog in like this cast, and they tied the frog to a pole. Not getting this right, exactly right, but follow me. They restrained one of the frog's legs to see what type of effect that would have on the body. And what they found was the leg that was restrained from the frog became more muscular and stronger than the leg that was swimming freely. So they're like, "Holy crap, this frog pushing and pulling against this chain or whatever, however they attach to the pole is making the muscles grow stronger." And that's kind of been the a folk tale, and I believe it's true, but I'm gonna call it a folk tale because it just sounds better. That's been the folk tale around isometrics that people have been buying into. So yeah, we're just recreating that one day at a time. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope that you have a great night. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't have anything else, any other words of advice or wisdom for you at the moment. So, with that, good night.